Welcome once again to Musings by Danon. Today's video was brought to us by Patreon supporter Waffles. This month, he asked me to watch Alice in Zoroku, and I gotta say, I'm glad he did. I was hooked after the first episode. But before we get started, I'd like to quickly ask you to like and subscribe. It really does help the channel, and it's free. With that out of the way, let's get into the video. Forgive me a quick tangent. I promise it'll make sense in a couple minutes. One of my favorite things in media is mashups. Having two genres brought together in order to create some new chimera of a film is delightful. Sometimes you get something unholy that should never be mentioned again, but other times you get something absolutely delightful, like Fool's Gold or Romancing the Stone, both of which are a mashup of action-adventure films and romantic comedies. I also love retelling old tales. Stories that have been with us for hundreds, if not thousands of years, retold for a new generation. No, not you, Transformers. I'm talking about movies like The Ugly Truth, which is a gender-swap Cyrano, or 10 Things I Hate About You, which you may not know is just a Shakespeare's Taming of the Shrew. Speaking of Shakespeare, you even have the classic Broadway musical West Side Story, where instead of the Capulets and the Montagues, you have the Jets and the Sharks. Homage was paid to that play in Shakespeare's Romeo plus Juliet, where the Montagues are portrayed as blonde-haired beach bums, just like the Jets, and the Capulets are Puerto Ricans, just like the Sharks. I tell you all of these things so that you'll understand what I mean when I say that Alice in Zoroku is a mashup of Alice in Wonderland, the magical girl genre, and a Clint Eastwood movie. Now, I'm not talking about one of his old westerns or even Dirty Harry films. I'm talking about current-day Eastwood, where he plays a grouchy old grandpa with a heart of gold who still complains about everything. The scene that made me fall in love with this anime was after the second fight. The first fight, Alice is escaping along a dark road in the mountains somewhere. She doesn't have the energy to use her powers and is being forced to go back into the compound she grew up in. Apparently, the people who ran the compound deliberately kept her caloric intake down so that she wouldn't have enough energy to fight back against them. She's rescued by a mysterious person who gives her some food. But that's just the first fight scene. Lots of mystery, lots of questions, good action, but very few answers, which is fine for an opening. We want to be curious and entertained at the same time. Later on, Alice meets Zoroku. She decides that Zoroku is a good person and attaches herself to him. Without his permission, of course. After a daring escape through the city with two magical girls chasing her, leaving a wake of destruction behind them, Zoroku confronts the girls. These are girls with superpowers, and he just lets them have it. In all my years of watching anime, I've never seen a magical girl, or any superpowered hero, put in her place like that by a non-superpowered person. He bonks them all on the head and points out how irresponsible they've been. This was the moment I fell in love with this series. So many times I'll be watching a show and a fight breaks out and some poor city gets destroyed by the hero. It made my heart sing when I saw a grouchy old man put these silly girls in their place. The world building is also interesting in this series, but I don't want to spoil it, so I won't go into spoiler territory outside of the first episode. Suffice it to say that Alice is nicknamed the Red Queen, and anyone who has any powers are referred to as having cards. And Alice's home is called Wonderland. So the anime is both about Alice leaving Wonderland through the proverbial rabbit hole and coming to the real world, as well as the Red Queen and her cards. Only the cards aren't happy about the Red Queen leaving Wonderland. But we all must leave Wonderland at one point or another. No one can stay there forever. Maybe we can return, but when we do, Wonderland seems smaller. It's still wondrous and magical, but no longer where we want to stay. It's not home anymore. Home is where our family is. In short, go watch Alice in Zoroku. You won't regret it. Thanks for tuning in. Once again, a huge shout out to my editor Cutestuff. I couldn't make these videos without her. If you'd like to hire her to edit your own videos, she can be reached at cutestuff.edits@gmail.com. Link is down below. If you're looking for ways to support the channel directly, you can head on over to patreon.com/Danon. There are several tiers to choose from. You can pick an anime or manga for me to do a video about, or you can join our monthly manga club. I also wanted to give a quick shout out to all of my patrons: Waffles, Jiraiya, Danny, Muffins, Marcus, Squishy, Brett, Roxy, Josh, Sean, Pob Zombie, Mark, Alex, Borgie, Jake, Exiled Rogue, Nazwin, Pedro, Aranor, Tom, Echo Fox, and Midge. You guys are awesome. I post new anime or manga videos often, or you can click here to watch additional videos. Again, thanks for watching, and I'll see you all again next time on Musings by Danon.